Hi, in this video, I'll be talking about line types and specifically how to create a new line type. So let's start out with the first way of creating a line type, and it's just called create a line type. So that's the command, and it will load up in this dialog here. Here I've got these pre-filled from my last time that I've used this utility. So I've got the name here, I've got the description. I'm using a standard text style, and the text itself is using 2-inch pipe. My scale is set to 1, and then I have this custom length here set at 10, which is the maximum amount that I can do in this dialog. I'm going to show you how to increase that in just a bit. Go ahead and save this to a file. This is going to allow us to load that line type file in later if we need it into a drawing. So let's go ahead and save this to the file. We'll call this 2-inch pipe, and we'll choose save. Next, we can load and close this dialog. So we're going to load the line type itself, and we're going to go into our line type command, which is LT. And here you'll see that new line type loaded in for us. So we'll choose OK after highlighting that. And let's just try out this new line type. So we'll just start here. Got my ortho on, and as you can see how that works here. If we want a longer gap between this annotation, we can go back to that same folder, and we're going to click on it, and we're going to say open with Notepad. Here is the code itself that has been created for us. Here's the name of our line type, and this 10 is the actual length of that line on each side. So we can increase this to 30, for example, and we'll go ahead and save this. And then we'll go back into our drawing. And if I were to draw this line again, there's not going to be any difference because this line type has already been loaded in the drawing, and it's going to keep that original setting. Only way around that is to erase this line here, and then we'll go into our purge command, which is PU, and we'll go down into the line types, and here you can see that 2-inch pipe that is still in the drawing, but we need to purge it out. So let's go ahead and just select purge and close this. So we'll do the LT command again, and we'll choose load. And here we need to browse. We've got that in our line types folder. So we're going to go ahead and open this, load it in, highlight it, choose OK. And now you can see it's in the line type manager. Choose OK again. And let's try out the new spacing. You can see the spacing is a lot wider in this example. So that's essentially how you create a custom line type. One thing about line types is they stay in the drawing. So let's say if you wanted this 2-inch pipe to show up every time you open up a new drawing, you would need to create a template with this line type in it, or you could copy and paste it. So I'll just go ahead and do a Control-C, and then we'll go into a new drawing and do a Control-V. And that's going to just bring that line type right in so that you can start using it. Real quick, I'm using a AutoCAD-like program called AViCAD. AViCAD is nearing its 2026 release. And in this video, I'm using a few of those tools that you'll find in AViCAD. You'll also find those tools in AutoCAD as well. So if you're using AutoCAD, this video will be helpful to you in the same way. AViCAD is a AutoCAD alternative and costs about a quarter of what AutoCAD does. For more, you can visit cadavenue.com/avicad.htm. Let's continue on with the line type. So in the next part of the video, I was going to show you how to create a more sophisticated line type. Maybe you need more of a pattern going on. Let me show you how to make a shape. Now, a shape is called a SHP file. And that's typically a way of creating new fonts, but you can also use shapes with line types. Go into our construction line layer, and we'll just draw a couple of construction lines. Let's draw one at 1 foot. Or let's make this another 1 foot. And then we'll copy these down 6 inches. We'll toggle into our 0 layer, and we'll just create our pattern. So this is going to be the repeating line type here. So now what we need to do is make a shape. Now you can come up into the ribbon, and underneath the ribbon, you'll be able to see different utilities to make these shapes. The line type is going to use this shape and create that repeating pattern. Let's go ahead and make the shape. We need to give it a name. Since it's the shape of a hat, we'll just call it hat. And we'll save. And then you'll notice at the command line, it says enter the shape name. So we'll give it the shape name of also hat. And the resolution, we could decrease the resolution on that to 128. The resolution needs to be turned up higher when you do curves. But in this example, we don't really care much about that. Now it's asking for the insertion point, which is going to be here, and then select the entities, which is going to be these 2 pieces here, and then enter. Now that we've created our shape, we can come down and compile the shape. The shape has to be compiled in order for the line type to use it. When you compile it, what it does is it compresses it and makes it more efficient. So let's go ahead and select this, and then we'll select our hat shape here, and we'll double click on that. And then the next step is just to come down to load shape. So now you can see that our file has changed the format. It's an SHX, which is the compiled file. So we'll select this. And then lastly, we'll come down and insert the shape. And if you remember, the shape name is called hat. So we'll select enter. And then the insertion point is going to be right here. And the factor is going to be 1. And then enter for the angle. Now you can't really see the shape because the shape is directly over these lines that I've just created. So let's erase those lines. Select the line and erase. So now we just have the shape, as you can see here. Now we're ready to create the line type. We'll come over here, make line type, and we're still working in this line types folder. So here I need to give it a name. We could call it HAT1. In case we want another variation of that, let's just do that. And again, the line type name, AT1. The description, we'll just say wide angled point. And now it's asking for the start point, which is here, and then the end point, which is here. And that's defining the length of the pattern. So we're going to select the entities, and that's going to be our shape. We'll press enter. And now when we go into our line type manager, we'll be able to see our new line type here. So we'll just choose OK, and we'll draw a line in to test it. So now you can see we've got this new line type going here. Now, just like all line types, you can scale these if you need to. There's a few ways to do that. First way is to go back into the line type manager and change this scale here of just this line to, let's say, 0.5. So 0.5, and then choose OK. And that way, when we draw another line, it's going to be half that size. But there's a second way of doing that, and that's globally. So if you do that globally, it's LTS, and then if you wanted to reduce it again and by another 0.5, that's going to reduce everything. So it's going to reduce all line types by half. So we'll just go ahead and undo that. The third way of overriding a line type scale is by just selecting it and then going into our properties palette and coming down here and then overriding just this one style here. Let's just say 0.25 on this one. And that only affects this selected line and then nothing else. So hopefully this video has been helpful. Kind of explained a little bit about how to create line types and how to scale them to the size that you need.